At that, streaming on YouTube, this thing worked. Big thanks to Marshall Hook. It's the Weekenders continuing here. It's Matt McCarthy, Mason Sousa, Mike O'Brien. Hook, you sticking around or no? I guess because you just muted. I guess because you just muted, that means you're going away.
I'm going away. Thank you very much for being here. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
See you, PD.
Been great.
What's up,
What's
guys?
up, boys?
Hey.
Sticking around.
How you doing?
No. Thank God he's not, really. I get enough Marshall Hook in my life, really.
He will come back in instantly and rip you a new one. So don't you worry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he will. So what's going on? Like, this is the first time that the three of us have been on the Weekenders, and thanks to everybody for tuning in on YouTube or tuning in wherever the hell they're tuning in. I don't know. Marshall Hook just puts this stuff out there. I'm told people listen. I'm told people watch. So we do this. So yeah, tweet at us at Matt McCarthy 98.5 at Mason Sousa 1. Is that correct?
You got it.
O'Brien, hawk your Twitter account for us for a second.
Well, it's O'Brien on the mic with MIC. Like microphone.
There you go.
So O'Brien on the mic.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah, it's punny.
I think this is the first time all three of us have even worked together. Not just at our normal station.
There hasn't been like a stray weekend shift. Well, I know
this could have been a 4th of July show, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, something like that.
You weren't on with us for the emergency Antonio Brown signing shift.
I don't think I was in. Maybe I was working the overnight early that night. So no, I unfortunately did not make it for that Sunday afternoon.
Who was our producer for that? I'm convinced you were our producer
for Antonio Brown signing.
By the way, you want to talk about like my worst take in the history of 98.5 the Sports Hub?
Please
go.
I mean,
just 5 hours of me performing like verbal oral sex on the New England Patriots for signing Antonio Brown. That didn't go so well.
No, but
not great.
Here's the worst thing is that I was against you to begin with. You brought me around to your take. So who's worse, the guy who had the awful original take or the guy who was convinced of that awful original take?
Newsflash, we both suck. I mean, that's ultimately what it comes down to.
But I mean, in the end, the thing is, you guys agree with the talent. He's just a stupid dumbass, and he just couldn't put down his phone for 30 seconds. So, on the field, I mean, you beat the up and coming, soon to be AFC East Miami Dolphins, but he just is a stupid ass. So
he's a horrible burden of a human being who will probably be catching passes from Tom Brady here shortly at some point, because
that's right.
Lord knows Brady's just bringing in all his boys to Tampa. I'm convinced that Brady's going to have a good year. I mean, we can get into that if we want, but I'm sick of the Brady thing at this point. Like, I mean, yes, call me a Patriots honk. I'm too depressed or whatever. Like, I'm done. I'm done talking about it. The Gronk thing nearly set me off the edge the other day. It's like, wow, great. Nice job, Bill. Great job running two of the greatest players in the history of the National Football League out of town. That's really one hell of an accomplishment. So we can do some Patriots. Why don't we start with the draft here right away, fellas? Before we've got other stuff to get into later on. This is not going to be all sports. I know we finally have some sports to talk about. Admittedly, I missed a lot of the draft this weekend because I drank bleach Thursday night at the recommendation of somebody, and I just woke up now. So let's just apparently I did. Let's just dive into the draft. Mason, you said you had like 2 pages of notes on the NFL draft. God bless you, dude. Like,
listen,
even when we don't have sports, I still can't do 2 pages of notes on the NFL draft.
Well, the thing is, I do a little show on the side, so I need to be a little prepared and not just spit hot garbage, which I usually do.
Are you suggesting that I'm ill-prepared and spit hot garbage?
I never suggested that, even though you're excellent at it. You're excellent at it, Matt, when you do that. So
you might not be wrong, Mace.
Yeah, I have 2 pages of notes, but it's not on any players. It's about just Jerry Jones's lair / yacht and Roger Goodell asking every fan base, come on, give it more. I'm like, you can just turn the volume up on your TV. So those are my takes. I don't have any actually players.
That's half of my stuff. Or it's also tips to surviving the quarantine, so I don't go on a some kind of spree that I will regret later. Besides the point, Bill Belichick should be fired, guys. That's how I will start this. Bill Belichick should be eradicated from the NFL.
Whoa, hold on.
He is the worst. Wait, you're gonna say that's hot garbage? Well, let me tell you why. I scrolling through Twitter, just like what am I? Am I in Narnia for a second? Because I'm seeing, oh, what an excellent draft. The Patriots, they're on the up. The new era is here. They're back. They take a Division II safety for the first time in 16 years that went in the NFL draft in the first 2 rounds.
He's intriguing.
They take a guy with a near catastrophic leg injury with, I believe, their third pick. The second pick, the guy wasn't good enough to be a starter until last season. They take a kicker that was supposed to be undrafted. They take 2 tight ends that also could have been undrafted. So, excellent draft. I think it's tremendous. I think the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl next year, 19-0. And, just put Bill Belichick in the Hall of Fame, the only current active coach while he's in the Hall of Fame right now. It was tremendous. I'm head over heels and totally looking forward to the new direction for the New England Patriots.
Mason Sousa, you miserable prick.
I am.
You
I am.
Miserable.
The funny thing
bastard.
is, I don't want to be. I don't want to be like this. I hate that I'm pessimistic. You laugh, but I don't want to be like this. But then I see this stuff and I see Twitter. Oh, what an excellent job. Oh, this guy's a steal. You have no effing clue who this guy is. So that's just
one
my
year
little
without a
opening
Super
rant.
Bowl and everyone's losing their mind. I know it's crazy, right?
It's not even
Tough
that.
times.
It's
Tough
not even
times.
It's not even that. He's sucked at picking being a GM for the past 8 years now. And this was the one draft since 2010 that you needed a home run. And I think you barely got a bunt off. Personally, that's my opinion.
All right, so here's what I'll say about the NFL draft. All right, and I say this as somebody who, listen, I'm not doing the mock drafts or anything like that. That's just not me.
You can go shove that up the underside of someone's ass.
You're a big mock draft guy, Mace.
No, not even. I'm just saying, shove your mock drafts up someone's keister.
So you know what's almost worse than the mock draft is the draft grades that come out instantly after the draft. It's like, who fucking knows?
Brutal.
Who fucking cares? Here's how I evaluate drafts. Like, all right, what was your approach? Did you draft for need? Did you move up and down the board? Like, I can judge you on that. I'm not going to judge you on the players that you took. I'm going to judge you on the approach that you took. Like, we're all going to sit here and like anybody who's sitting here today and acting like, oh yeah, the Division II safety in the second round. Like, oh yeah, I watched all this. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You've never heard of this guy in your life. The same way that you've never heard of 3/4 of these guys who have ever been drafted. Like, don't just sit here and be like, oh, good pick there. Like, you can't say that. Here's what you can say. All the talent evaluators, the people who do this for a living, the people in the league say that, hey, this is a deep draft. It's one of the deeper drafts in a while, right? So just take that trend and apply that to how the Patriots approach the draft. And I've got no problems with it. Like, you trade down in the first round because the second and third round is supposed to be where the meat of this draft is. There were 2 first rounds. Some people are saying so what you do is you trade down, then you get aggressive on day 2. You move up the board, you move down the board. You end up making 5 selections on day 2. Like, I've got no problems with that approach. I like that approach. The question is, did they pick the right players? Like, approach good, approach B+, A-, A. I don't care. Give it a grade if you want. Don't give me a grade on the players that they took. We have no idea. Nobody has any idea. Don't sit here and pretend like you know. Like, I just, that's what I hate about the draft is like, wow, great selection here with the 37th overall pick. It's like, you don't know that. You don't know that. I thought Razai Dowling was a good pick. All right. Ugh. Like, what
Cyrus
Jones
don't know that
was
going to be a Hall of Famer.
Dude, loved the Cyrus Jones pick. Wow, Alabama punt returner. This seems a perfect Belichick pick. He sucked. It was one of the worst picks they've ever made. So like, don't sit here and tell me, oh, that's a good pick or that's not a good pick. You can't do that. And the people who do that are come on, really? What are we doing?
The one thing I will say, the approach. I know they're all Bill Belichick type players. It's one thing you've been reading about these selections. Oh, they're all going to fit into the Patriots system. They're all Bill Belichick players. But, when you look at the roster, and granted, first round selections and wide receiver selections generally don't contribute to their rookie year. But you get the feeling that this offense needed some playmakers. And this was a very wide receiver heavy draft in terms of the top talent. And plenty of receivers still available there at what would have been pick 23. Maybe you want to stock up on some playmakers in offense because who's going to be Matt Lacoste, Sanu, and James White out of the backfield right now?
No, Mike, we need a kicker in the 4th round. That's what we need. So a guy that was going to be undrafted. I don't care.
I mean, I feel the need for Bill Belichick type players. I get it. But how about some playmakers? Because that's kind of what cost you last year and why you fell short in the playoffs. Who's going to be your playmakers here in 2020?
By the way, I am more than fine with Bill Belichick just taking a giant punt on wide receivers in this draft, because if there's one thing I've learned over the last 20 years is that dude cannot evaluate young wide
receivers.
That's
true. Okay.
Can't do it. Like I can take a hard pass on Bill Belichick burning another first round pick on the wrong wide receiver. Okay. Like I'm good. Running backs, wide receivers in the first round. No. I don't want it. People are like, oh, well, Jefferson was available. Well, good. I'm glad they didn't take him, because I'm sure if he is good, he'd come here and they'd find a way to ruin him the way that they ruin every other wide receiver that they draft. Like you have to go back to Deion Branch to find 20 years ago, basically, to find a wide receiver that they took early on in the draft that actually did something. Okay, so like I'm good.
And they select like a quarterback
taking
in the first round that they convert to wide receiver. Maybe that's the way to go.
There you go. Although I will say, if there's one thing Bill Belichick also cannot do, it's defensive backs in the second round. There's a long good track record there of reaching for safeties in the second round that fucking suck. You've got Patrick Chung, who's good only in a second time around though,
right?
And then you've got Jordan Richards. You've got Tavon Wilson. I fear that this is Tavon Wilson 2.0. How many corners has he taken? Terrence Wheatley. Wheatley was a second round pick, right?
Yeah,
I think he was out of Colorado.
Juwan Williams last season.
Juwan
Duke
Williams
Dawson 2 years ago.
Duke Dawson.
Dawson.
Oh boy. Oh, the second round track record at defensive back, not great for Bill. Not great. Patrick Chung and then everybody else.
And the thing is, your best player is Stephon Gilmore. And if he was going to be traded or a massive blockbuster trade, I think it would have been this past weekend during the draft. So you're set there. The one thing I do disagree with you guys is, yes, Bill Belichick sucks at drafting receivers. But as you both mentioned, it was one of consensus wide. It was the deepest wide receiver draft in, 20 years. So, I mean, you have to hit on that, right? You have to, Bill, maybe?
Nope.
Because you want the ball in Mohamed Sanu's hand? You want the ball in Jacoby Myers' hand next season? I'm going to say you don't. So I'm thinking with a second round pick, you take one of these wide receivers and hope for a Juju Smith-Schuster or someone like this, because can they all fail? I don't know, maybe, but at least try, because you are depleted at that position among others.
You guys have any problems with the Patriots? And we're talking about wide receiver here. I mean, do you have any problems with them basically punting on quarterback in this draft?
Yeah.
You do? It sounds like you've got a problem with everything, Mason.
Yeah. I mean, let me start with things maybe I'm happy with. Nothing.
Short
so
list.
At quarterback, not to take one. I mean, I don't know, maybe we'll get to the Packers with Jordan Love, and maybe the next Patriots quarterback is Aaron Rodgers after he ships his way out of town in Green Bay. But, I see that they took two undrafted quarterbacks. You can piss up a rope when you talk to me about undrafted quarterbacks. All right. So I don't want to hear that. Kurt Warner. Yay. Yeah. So that's not going to happen. The point is, no, they had the draft capital, as you mentioned, 5 picks on day 2. They traded up 3 times. And as I mentioned, they took a guy that wasn't good enough to start till senior year. They take a guy 2 years ago who looks like he's healed now, but had a near catastrophic knee injury. So at that point, and you take a tight end, Asi, tomato, whatever his name is, who consensus wide was 10th or worst at the tight end position. And that's the second tight end off the board. You're going to say the Patriots did well when you take the consensus-wide 10th best tight end with the second one off the board. What are we talking
find out
about?
in 2023.
Exactly. Well, okay.
That's what we'll know.
So exactly, like you said, I put myself in a blender there because I agree with you. At the same time, when people say, "Oh, what a pick! What a pick!" You don't know. At the same time, I don't know either. But when these so-called draft experts, who, they suck from time to time, but when all of them have this particular tight end in the double digits of when he should be picked at that position, and he's the second one off the board, what are we doing? Seriously.
Did you want Jalen Hurts?
I don't know. Did the Eagles want Jalen Hurts?
Eagles fan, you can have him.
Actually, I did. I did want Jalen Hurts.
You wanted Jalen Hurts?
I would have been fine with the 4th pick, Jalen Hurts. So I don't know. That's back to the quarterback question. Yes, they should have taken one in the 3rd or 4th round.
All right, so I think my internet connection is unstable, as they say right now. So I don't know if you guys can hear me, but let me ask you this, O'Brien. You got me loud and clear. That's good.
I got you.
How do you feel? How do you feel about Jalen Hurts there? Doesn't sound like you're too thrilled. Is Carson Wentz not the answer? Shocker! Oh my God, Carson Wentz maybe not the answer in Philadelphia, huh?
Well, if he's not the answer, I don't know why you just extended him for 4 seasons at whatever ridiculous cap number he's at right now. He's taken up God knows how much percentage of the Eagles cap right now. But you made a commitment to Carson Wentz literally last year, and then you draft a quarterback in the 2nd round. I have no problem with taking a flyer on a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th or 5th round, or bringing a couple in undrafted free agents. You had so many needs, be it a defensive back, trying to add team speed at some skilled positions. And we've talked about already, it was a very heavy draft in terms of the talent of those positions. But you go and basically, I'd say, pick up more of an athlete than a quarterback in Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to be known more for the plays he makes with his feet and then opposed to his arm. So again, I don't mind a player like that, but when you had so many other needs at so many other different positions, I'm not sure if Jalen Hurts was necessary in round 2. And especially when you kind of take it out of the vacuum and think that maybe the Eagles reached with Jalen Reagor instead of maybe Justin Jefferson at that 22nd pick, or that 21st pick. So again, Jalen Hurts on paper, he's a good player, and obviously he's been able to do some stuff on the field, but on paper, where he's selected and give him the Eagles situation overall, I didn't like it at all.
Let me ask you this though. Yeah, no, go ahead, Mace.
I was just going to say real quick on Hurts. I mean, at least like he's a guy that shows some resilience. He got benched in Alabama. He goes to Oklahoma and has a pretty good couple of years over there. Or was it just 1 year? Whatever it was, he did well. He came over adversity. He's like, all right, I'm the starting quarterback, Alabama. Life is great. He gets demoted. He needs to go to another very good school in Oklahoma, but not as great. So, and he performed well. So he has that kind of resilience to be like, don't count me wrong. I'll be all right.
Yeah. Where I will say this is, you're right, Matt. Carson Wentz has not been able to stay on the field. The Eagles still committed that big contract to him. So if Wentz gets hurt again, I do like the ability for Jalen Hurts to maybe be able to step on the field than some of the guys they've had recently. I mean, Nick Foles is gone, Chase Daniels, Josh McCown, the 40-year-old, the intrepid Josh McCown, playing on a torn hamstring last year, losing them a playoff game, and getting the bounce from the postseason. So, I mean, in terms of capable backups and investing in a young player, I will give that one caveat. If Carson Wentz can't stay on the field, and he really hasn't been able to in the last couple seasons, then turn the keys over to Jalen Hurts for a little bit, see how he does.
Can I just break some news to Eagles fans here? Carson Wentz really isn't that good. He's not. He's not.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Let's go right down to this. The Eagles have not been. I mean, and listen, maybe it's the knee injury from a few years ago. I don't know. He's never been the same. Okay, he has not been the same since he tore his knee up. When the Eagles had that 13-3 season, and then Nick Foles won them a Super Bowl. Okay, so Carson Wentz has never been the same. You look at that Eagles team, and yeah, sure, you didn't have wide receivers last year. I get that, but
no wide receivers last year.
No wide receivers. I totally understand. There's talent on that roster. They should be better than what they are, and Carson Wentz has underperformed. Just plain and simple.
Let me push
back. You're looking at your. Yeah.
Let me push back a little bit, because
go for it.
I don't disagree with you, and I think up until probably the final 4-6 weeks of last season, I was kind of on that. Carson Wentz had that amazing rookie season. He looked like he was on, well, not amazing rookie season, but he had that season when they won the Super Bowl where it looked like he would have been MVP if he didn't get injured. Nick Foles comes in, wins the Super Bowl, and Carson Wentz was never the same. And it looked like he was just going to be an average to maybe above average quarterback. But the Eagles don't make it into the playoffs without him last year. They were, again, NFC East wasn't the best division, but I think the Eagles were basically down and out, and Carson Wentz was able to lead them on that string of victories to get in the playoffs. That was largely on his shoulders, with down how many receivers? Receivers when it was all finished. Alshon Jeffrey out, Deshaun Jackson out, a lot of his big weapons, and even Zach Ertz for a time as well, and also Dallas Goedert. So losing basically 4 of your top 5 weapons at one point, and still he was able to get his team in the playoffs. So I think he's trending upward. Where I think he has suffered has not necessarily been the injury. I think it's kind of been the brain drain in terms of the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, with Frank Reich moving on. And thank you, Josh McDaniel, for helping with that little transition. So that's where I think Carson Wentz has suffered, but they've tried to bring in some new coaches, and I think he's trending upward. So we'll see.
All right. Yeah, we will see about that. Real quick, you guys want to hit on the Packers pick, which is, I mean, just unbelievable to me. This selection. I mean, this is listen, you want to light a fire under Aaron Rodgers' ass. Maybe this works, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I mean, are they trying to recreate the Jimmy Garoppolo thing with the Patriots? But
right.
I mean, first round pick, huh? What you did go to the NFC Championship game last year, and you're going to spend a pick on a guy who's not going to help you for the next however many years. Like, I hate that selection. It's actually why I hated the Garoppolo selection 5 or 6 years ago. Now I was on record like hating that pick, because I'm like, yo, why aren't you building this team around Tom Brady? Like, why aren't the Packers doing the same? To me, it's unbelievable.
You know what the best part of all that is? I guess Aaron Rodgers went on with Pat McAfee, and it's like, oh, it's been 15 years since basically his whole career, Aaron Rodgers, since the Packers have drafted a skilled player on offense in the first round. And they did, but it was at Aaron Rodgers' position, so nothing to help him out. So absolutely unbelievable. But it's unbelievable, but it's also not unprecedented. I mean, then again, with Brett Favre, it was either the same age or a year difference when Aaron Rodgers was drafted in the first round when he dropped. So I don't know, the precedent is there. Brett Favre was obviously contemplating retirement, I'm sure, at that point, and things weren't really great. So we thought honeymoon phase was excellent for Rodgers and Matt LaFleur, first-year coach. Now I'm going to say not so much. So things are kind of hilarious over there, and I'm looking forward to see that fall apart in a supernova.
Yeah, and I mean, with the way what you hear from about Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure he'll react to this exactly the right way.
Oh yeah, no, totally. He seems like a good guy who everybody really likes.
He's going to treat him just like family. Yeah,
he's going to treat him like family. That's what a piece of work, really. Speaking of pieces of work, Roger Goodell.
Yes.
This fucking guy.
This guy.
I think the draft coverage was pretty good. I mean, given everything that, like, I mean, props to ESPN and NFL Network, like from a production standpoint, like basically doing a draft over Zoom and putting that on television, like that was pretty good. But Roger Goodell turning to all the fans, be like, oh, boo me. I'm one of you guys. I'm one of the guys. I love the good-natured ribbing. So boo me, please. Like, oh God, what a boob this guy is. Like, just to get up there and read the picks. I don't care about your hugs with the players and how you're going to miss hugging all those guys and whispering in their ear, I will fucking suspend your ass and fine your ass if you ever do anything out of line. I'm going to
You're my bitch now.
You're my bitch now. I'm going to make you come to me. I'm going to make you apologize and look me in the eye and say you're sorry. But seriously, welcome to the NFL. Welcome to the family. Like, fuck you and your hugs. Fuck you and your boos. Like, just get up there and read the pick like a commissioner should. All right. Like,
and also at least announce the correct date for the NFL draft in Las Vegas.
Good point.
2020.
That was good. That was solid.
The dude's a robot. He's really unplugged. He is not human. The dude is he's on iOS 3. He needs like a lot of updates. The dude is unhinged. It's unbelievable. So there was something about Goodell. Yeah. You mentioned about you're talking to a TV. Like they don't. Did they see you? Did they not see you? I was looking at the screen, and obviously it seemed like it was on loop or whatever. So it was stupid. Absolutely stupid. To start. What he tried to be funny and pumped in, boo noise, which is like whatever, you're in touch, self-deprecating, but he kept doing it. It was so cringy. It was like the definition of tool bag. But
the horse was not only dead on the ground from repeatedly beating that joke in the ground. It was like down into the magma core of this earth. That's how far he'd be down again and again.
It jumped the shark after pick 2, that's for sure.
Yeah.
we can continue on Goodell, but I have to get this one. You know who is cringier? I don't know if you guys were watching ESPN or NFL Network.
ESPN.
So you saw this. Effing Trey Wingo was even cringier. Just every other pick. Oh, what a special day for this selection. His mother used to sell blow on the sidewalk and perform oral activities so he could go to high school. Like, we don't need to know this. We don't need this. Everyone was either dead or dying every pick.
Third bullet point on every bio was just absolute tragedy.
It was.
It was just,
oh my God. It's like, I'm sorry.
Childhood friend died at like age 12. Like, come on, man. Like, enough.
Like, I'm sorry. I feel for you, but I'm here to run away from my problems, not to take on yours. Does that make me a bad guy? I apologize, but I don't want this every other pick. Maybe if there's a cool story. There was one dude. It's like, oh, he bowled a 300 his first game playing bowling. I don't give a flying fish. All right. So just what can he do on the football field? All right. That's all I need to know. Unbelievable. Some of this. So the draft coverage from a non-hacking point of view was excellent. Good job.
Yeah.
It kind of went smoothly, but just all that cringy stuff. Just I had to shut it off in the fourth round.
I'll go the other way. I want high life porn. And just I want to see how I want Cliff Kingsbury's life and his house and how he lives, and just give me more of that, like or have a Jerry Jones yacht / lair with apparently 2 genie lamps in the background from what I saw,
and his whores walking in the back. Yeah,
how I could be living, or how basically jealousy of how I'm seeing other people live compared to my life. That's what I want for my draft now.
Unbelievable.
So forget tragedy, forget actual players.
I thought that was
forget clips. No, I want that.
But I thought the best part of the draft coverage.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Oh, you're good.
See, I thought, and again, my internet connection is unstable. So like this is going great. I'm sure this is how somebody's draft night went.
No.
You know, they can't get the damn thing to work. So
it was Nike's draft with his paws all over the table in Nantucket.
It was the best part of the draft is seeing inside. Seeing inside these coaches' homes and being like, damn, like Cliff Kingsbury, holy shit. Or like Mike Vrabel, just like, what a fucking whack job this guy is. And Bill Belichick putting his dog up on the chair, and the key, Bill Belichick, Patriots head coach. Like, that was the best part of this draft. Like,
that was funny.
I need more of that. Like, I need more of that inside look into, and some of it is of course staged. Like, you're telling me that the Vrabel thing wasn't staged like that, but it was awesome. It's like, here's Mike Vrabel just busting everybody's balls again because he's Mike Vrabel, master ball, but like, just what do we, it's great. It was fantastic. I don't need the human interest story. Like, yeah, this guy's, family was run down by like German tanks or something. Like, I don't need that. Or like, this guy was raised by wolves after like terrorists kidnapped his family. Like, what are we doing? Like,
he solved the Rubik's Cube on his first time. He can do a push-up without his hands. Come on.
He doesn't have any hands. Like,
I would say keep the draft virtual. I liked it that much, but I know the NFL would somehow ruin the best parts of a virtual draft.
Of course, like they would.
The coaches' houses and looking in all the player houses. So I would say keep it virtual, but the NFL will ruin it somehow.
You guys happen to see the movie Parasite?
Yeah, just
critically
acclaimed.
I
haven't seen it yet.
So Mike, you'll get this this tweet. It was the best tweet. It showed the palatial estate of Cliff Kingsbury, and someone's caption was, "What does it look like Cliff Kingsbury does for a living?" And someone's like, "Unknowingly houses 2 people in his basement." So go watch Parasite. It's a pretty good movie.
Matt, go watch Parasite. It is. Really
I've heard
good.
it's on my my quarantine list. You guys have a quarantine list, like TV shows, movies you've been hitting up? Yeah, already.
Just getting there. Yeah. You go.
I mean, I'm not as TV hip as most, so I'm trying to. I said this last week with Tim and Sean on this show right here. I'm in quasi taking part in the Jones Show binge project or whatever they're calling it, Blair Binge Project. It's pretty clever. So if they pick a show that the other hasn't watched, and they give it a couple days and then report back, and then they make it 4 segments. It's ridiculous, but it works. So
as they would do, of course.
Yes, exactly. So that's how I've been taking part of my time.
By the way,
which shows then?
One of them was very easy. It was like a Tim and Eric-esque show, Robot Chicken kind of. It was 15 minutes, 6 episodes, and it was just really crude, dark humor. It was pretty good.
Nice.
So speaking of Jones, sorry, I think you've got something on this you want to add.
No, we're talking about. I just worked through the 6 seasons of Community, which are all on Netflix right now, and so. Big Dan Harmon fan, the creator, who also created Rick and Morty. So I think I'm going to transition from Community over to Rick and Morty, as I hear that's funny, and I like laughter, so I'm going to do that.
Yeah, laughter is good, unless you're a diabolical prick like Mason Sousa. You don't like good things.
Hey, I laugh so I don't cry. That's what I do. So because I was watching these picks and I'm like, I can't do this anymore, so I have to laugh.
So speaking of Jones, I want to get Adam Jones on Cameo. Because have you been following Tony Maz on this thing?
Oh yeah.
A little bit.
This is awesome. Like, people are just paying Maz $25 a pop to troll the shit out of their friends. Like, it's the best. Like, I mean, Maz is just like ripping people for being deadbeats and like not paying up their fantasy football dues and stuff like that. It's honestly, you would think it's the stupidest content ever. It's amazing. I'm like watching all these videos. They're hilarious. Maz is just trolling everybody on behalf of their like, I'm just going to like take out my wallet right now and be like, Maz, I need you to troll the shit out of all my friends because they deserve it. So, but I was thinking, who else from the Sports Hub should we get on Cameo? I saw Big Jim Murray's there. He's going to be good. But you want to talk about like the ultimate troll, Adam Jones. Like, you need somebody to troll your buddy. Get Adam Jones to do it. Pay him whatever he wants, and he will own his face.
Blank check.
Blank check. Jones, I want you to just lay into this guy for the next minute and a half. Do it. We need Jones on Cameo.
When you told me Maz joined Cameo, I was scrolling through these people, and I'm like, you know what? Not that we're high up and comers, or not to put down you guys, to put down myself.
Put down all of us. It's fine.
In the radio world, I'm just wondering, like, what could we charge that someone's actually like? If we say 95 the Sports Up, like, all right, 50 cents, I'll drop that in. Can you just say something to my buddy about that? Yeah, maybe we could pull that off. But yeah, for Jones, if obviously from the top, if you wanted to go Felger, the morning show, just being totally weird with someone. Yeah, that would have to be like, 75, 90, $100. I would say.
I would say that my Cameo would be worth approximately 9 cents. I'm assuming Cameo gets a cut of that, so I'd probably walk away with like 4 cents. So probably not worth my time. But yes,
we should make it a profit. I think I would have to pay. Like, hey, here's a quarter. Can I do a cameo for you?
Yeah, right. And they would say no. That's not going to happen. Yeah, so we need to get Jones on this. Who else from the hub should we get on this? Like, I feel like Fred is obviously a given, right?
Yes.
Like, I mean, Fred would be Fred. I feel like Rich is almost too nice. It's unless you want like a really inspiring, like, hey, like somebody's going through a hard time, like we're going to uplift a nurse. Like Rich would be perfect for that. Like Rich is just naturally really good at that stuff. It'd be funny to just pay Wallach to troll somebody and just see how it comes out.
Yeah. Because it won't go over well.
Yeah.
I'd say definitely Zoe. Zoe would be good at it, obviously, for obvious reasons.
Your buddy said hi. Hi. That would be that for 75 seconds. So if you think that's worth $50, like knock yourself
$1
out.
a second.
Yeah. If you think that's worth like $50, knock yourself out. I think I might direct my my money elsewhere.
Yeah, but at the same time, Jones, not Jones, Zoe doesn't turn on his phone for $500 or less. So it would have to be pretty steep for Zoe on Cameo. Yeah. Someone off the definitely Joe Murray. He would be excellent.
Good.
I don't know, who else do you have in mind?
I mean, I know Jim Murray's already on there, but I feel like he could bring a musical element that other hosts or update guys wouldn't necessarily be able to bring. He could do some parody songs.
Yeah,
really bring that creativity to the Cameo. So that was my number one pick.
Yeah, Jim can do the voices. Like he can troll you in his David Price voice or something like that, or he can talk to you like Jim Gray or something. Like Jim's perfect for that. Like Hardy is obviously so talented and so creative, but like it's almost like Hardy's too high production for this. Like it's literally just like, I mean, and I mean that as a compliment to Hardy, because
right.
like you listen to what he does on the final word and stuff like that. Like it's just these amazing pieces of production. And it's like, that's not what Cameo is. Cameo is just literally you take out your phone and you rip somebody for 60 seconds. Like Hardy would rip you for 60 seconds, but it would be like highly produced and it would sound amazing. Like that's So I don't know if this is his medium.
Bring it down a couple notches, right, Hardy?
It's like, exactly. we're not that high tech over here at Cameo. Let's calm down, Hardy. Yeah, there'd be an intro and outro. There'd be, it would be tremendous. The mix quality would be, the best
top notch
Cameo's ever seen. Like, we can't afford you. Like, what
about the Silver Fox?
Doing a Macho Man, of course. Oh yeah,
doing his Macho Man. I feel like he would just like, if I just needed a real nice, like uplifting message, he's my guy. Like I want to feel good about myself today. The Silver Fox, Sean Silver, recording a message.
Oh yeah, as the Macho Man. There you go.
Or just Sean. I'd be fine with just Sean doing it.
Matt, you could pull one off. With your clever and just totally ripping into someone. You could definitely hurt someone's feelings for sure if you tried.
Yeah. I get 9 cents. I'll hurt anybody's feelings you want. Why don't you just at Matt McCarthy 98.5? My DMs are open. You want me to do this? Like I'll rip your buddy. Like I'll go after him. If he owes his fantasy football dues, I'll call him out, my man. Like I'll whore myself out there for 9 cents. You kidding me?
What is your price to really hurt someone's feelings? 9 cents.
Oh, 9 cents. 9 cents. It's really that easy. Like a few weeks ago, I was on with Joe Murray, and you heard the thing about like Pornhub offering Joe Buck $1 million to do play-by-play for porn, and Joe was like, "Hey, like, would you do that for $1 million?" I'm like, "Would I do that for $1 million? I do it for like 10. Are you kidding me? Like, I do play-by-play for that. I will sell myself out. I no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like I will totally sell myself out if there's a paycheck in it for me. Totally. You kidding me?
Just happy for the opportunity.
Oh yeah. Oh, yes. Absolutely. You think I'm going to be picky? You think I'm going to be picky? No way. Like porn play-by-play, I'm in. Like I could do that. I did baseball play-by-play. Porn's probably far more exciting than that.
So I'm actually on it right now. If you're a Who's Line fan, Colin Mockery's all over this.
Oh, that's great.
He's $100.
Dude, Colin Mockery would be worth $100 because I think it's improv. It's what he does. Like I'd pay any of those guys.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, he'll come up with it instantly. So it's actually, there's no work for him. It's basically free money. So Gilbert Gottfried is on there. So if you want to be annoyed, Johnny Damon he's under former MLB Boston Red Sox on there. Okay, Johnny Damon.
Johnny Damon. So hold on, $100 for Johnny Damon?
Yes.
You think there are people who are still paying $100 for Johnny Damon?
$100 to forget Johnny Damon.
I mean, but the first guy to come up here is Sean Astin, actor Lord of the Rings.
Shooter McGavin, $220. Jesus.
What?
I mean, Happy Gilmore was a good movie, but come on, what are we doing? Ooh. Unbelievable. Hey, we were just talking about Brett Favre. $400. It'd just be dick pics from Favre.
I was going to say,
too soon.
Yeah. I'd say too late at this point. People probably, for those 10 years ago, O'Brien, people probably forget that.
What was the girl's name?
Jen Sturger, wasn't it?
Wow. Right. You have that right on the recall.
I don't know. I wish I could remember important things.
He has a tab open right now. Ennis Cantor. Take a guess. Your
bucks.
$100.
It's actually 50.
Okay. Brett the Hitman Hart for 150. I would do that. And some of these prices, and some of these, I don't even know who some of these people are. Are you telling me Tara Reid's still getting $125 to say things?
When I say the name Andy King, do you know who that is? The Fire Festival guy that would perform oral to anyone to come.
Oh, yes. Yes, $75. $75. Boy, he was willing to do a lot more for less, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely right.
Oh man,
I'm
$75.
gonna put my name on here. What's the minimum you think? It's probably 10. I'm gonna get 0, obviously. But
the question is, but Cameo has to get a cut out of it. Do you need to be welcomed onto Cameo? Can you just create one? Like,
I'm gonna create one while we're talking. How about that?
how about that? Yeah, keep us posted.
Yeah. Well, you guys, I'll still be here, but you guys can continue with Instagram. I don't really use my Instagram. Oh, okay, here we go.
Instagram. Nah, I'm not on the gram. I just
You're
I'm
not on the
old
IG?
school.
I'm not hip.
No.
I
Not on the
am.
gram.
I just don't go on it.
I'm still taking a deep dive on like who's on here and how much money. Terry Bradshaw's getting $400.
Jesus.
Marshall
Well, I'll tell you-
$500.
He'll go free and ruin the Felger and Maz program. That's for sure. And piss off Felger to no end.
Bad phone, grab ass. Bad phone, let's grab ass.
It's the best promo ever.
Oh
Right,
man,
and
that
Corey
was-
Feldman's getting $202. Of course, there we go. Just can't be a round number for Corey Feldman.
Who is that?
Corey Feldman, you remember the Coreys, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman from all the '80s movies?
Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
Lost Boys. What else was he in? Oh God, now I'm just completely blanking. Anyway, he was Goonies.
Can I just say this? Like, if you're paying any washed up star from the 1980s from your mediocre, overrated 1980s movies or cultural things, you need to reevaluate your life. Like, move on. It was 30 years ago. It really wasn't all that good. All right.
Well, hey,
30
people-
years ago is more like 40 years ago. All right. It really was not all that good. Okay. The 80s, overrated.
Well, people got their stimulus checks. So as we were talking, I just, apply to join Cameo. I put my name, email. All right, where
Yeah.
can they find you? Twitter. How many followers do you have? The default follower, I don't know if this is the minimum, but this is what it says. So this is what Cameo's hoping you have at least. Take a guess. How many followers?
10,000.
That'd be 400,000.
That's the minimum?
400.
Like Cameo, you can't pick and choose. Like, no one knows you. How about we start with 10,000, like Matt said, and then maybe build our way up. 400,000. Yeah, all right.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at some of the personalities here on Cameo. There's no way they all have 400,000.
So I just put 400 just for the hell of it instead of 400,000, and it says, "Oh, nice. Someone will be in touch shortly. I'm sure they will."
Like
Yeah,
the
there you go.
first person I looked at here, Kerr Smith. He used to be on Dawson's Creek. I just put him into Twitter. He's got 5,000 followers. That's it.
Christ,
Oh, okay.
I have almost 5,000 followers, and that's
You
saying
and Kerr
something.
Smith are
There you go, Matt.
exactly the same.
Cameo, Matt McCarthy, right here. Let's go.
Come
How
on.
about, how about that? $1. $1. Going for $1 here. $1. $1.
Butt scratch out.
I'll give you $1 for a Cameo message.
All right. So if I were to do a Cameo message to somebody at the Sports Hub, like, you pay me to say anything to anybody at the Sports Hub,
Oh wow.
who you picking? What am I saying? I know that puts you on the spot, but we got. I'm sure we could do some stuff.
Oh yeah, critical thinking here.
I'm a little bit afraid.
My first knee-jerk reaction is probably one of the top guys' way to say why you should have their job and they suck at their job. I think you
I
should
love
just
that.
go all out and something like that.
Just go straight for Fred and be like, "You fucking suck. I want your job. I deserve your job." Yeah, even though we do completely different things. Like, yeah, no, I like it. Like, you pay me $1, I'll like go to Felger and be like, "Yeah, sure. Like, I could do your job, no problem. Like, you're not very good at this.
10 times
Like,
better than you. Yeah.
Yeah, like, who
I'm
cares?
going to second Mason's notion there because I think that's the number one answer on the board right out of the gate.
Like,
I'm
like,
not
who,
gonna
yeah, who
comment
cares
on
about
that.
your 16 rating share? Like, whatever. I can do that in my sleep.
I dream about it.
Maybe I could do. Maybe I could do a 5-8 like some other afternoon shows in Boston, but I don't know if I could do a 16. Let's figure that out.
Yeah, one of these days. One of these days you will.
Someday, Matt. Someday.
All right.
Or maybe do you have to cameo the midday show and just, or either Felger or Maz, and just go through your entire Antonio Brown take again?
Yeah,
Have
that
the
went
same,
really
that
well.
same passion for the first time.
Yeah, that,
There you go. That leads to another one. You can take everyone's worst take and just say how stupid they are. Just spend 90 seconds on that. Like, you said this, you're a failure to the industry.
you're
Absolutely
Yeah.
you're a
foolish.
fucking idiot. Apologize to me. Directly apologize to me.
There you go. Yeah.
The entire Boston sports landscape and fandom.
That's right.
Yeah,
Just hold
that's it.
everybody accountable for
Yeah.
what they said. I like it. See, we got some good ideas here. Like, if for $1, I'll say all of this.
I know John Henry can afford it. So, I mean, I'm sure you could spend 90 minutes on that, just ripping into him.
Of course I could. We getting some
Who's
double
playing
audio
stuff?
there.
Who's playing stuff in the background here?
It's not me.
I don't know. To tell you know who I do want to talk to, though, is these people who are outside. Yeah, yesterday's a nice day.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't give two shits about social distancing. You know what the world needs? The world needs bad weather. The world needs snow. We just need a giant ass snowstorm to come along, sit down, hunker us down for 2 months. Because the only thing that will ever stop stupid people is just a little bit of rain, a little bit of precipitation. That's the only thing that will stop people. Because you get one nice day like yesterday. I went out. I was amazed. Like, people were just like, nah, they didn't care about 6 feet. They're just like walking next to each other on the sidewalk. It's like, what are we doing here? Hello? Like, we're kind of trying all not to get wiped out, but all of a sudden the sun comes out and you idiots are like, well, I guess it's good to go outside. No, it's not. No, hello, wake up. Wake up.
Were they wearing masks and gloves and all that?
No, of course they weren't. You kidding me?
Let me ask you this: if it was nice outside like it was yesterday, and you and your girlfriend are like, would you go for a walk? You're like, no, we have to stay indoors.
Oh no,
you're wearing the gloves, you're wearing the masks.
No, I go for walks. I just go. I'm lucky to be in an area that's pretty remote right now, so it's easy enough to find places to go where people aren't. Like, there are trails through the woods and stuff like that, and they're just like areas where, I mean, we're lucky. Like, if you're living in a city or if you're living in a really highly populated area right now, like, I get it. That's kind of tough. Like, we don't have that. We can go on just like abandoned back roads and stuff like that. It's not a problem at all. But if you're driving around into like more downtown areas or more populated, it's amazing. People just don't seem to give a shit whatsoever. Like, but you know what? You do just a drop of rain and everybody runs inside, because if there's one thing that stupid people are afraid of, it's a little bit of rain.
Dude, you're absolutely. Go ahead, Mike.
No, you go ahead.
You're absolutely right when it comes to snow. Every winter, it never ceases to amaze me. Like, you've lived here before. You've lived here for 40, 50, 60 years. Snow happens. There's an inch on the ground. Let's go 20 miles an hour on the highway. Guys, come on. So yeah, I was thinking, like, what's going to teach these people to, like, just stay inside and not be stupid? You know what it is? People saw, peak day already passed, so that means it's over. We went from peak to zero. No, we're still at like an all-time high.
Nice
yeah,
work,
exactly.
Yeah, good job. That bleach I drank the other night really did wonders.
I went Tide Pod. That's the way I went.
Oh, Tide Pod. That's a good approach. I like the Lysol, the Lysol spray, like your Lysol inhaler. I think that's a good approach. We could even get like a saline spray of Lysol, just, right up the nose. That's good.
It's a good idea.
So,
yeah. Little ears.
I think it was 2 weekends ago. It was nice on a Sunday as well. And I probably shouldn't be doing this, but throwing my wife right under the bus. But her,
you should.
and her,
no, go right ahead. Hold her accountable.
Her and her friends, like, who were in different neighborhoods, like her and I think 2 of her friends, like, they were wearing the masks and they were wearing the gloves, but they met up for a walk. Because none of them had been sick, and they met up for a walk. But the entire time, we're like, is this okay? Like, are we allowed to do this? Like, we're distancing, we're protected, we're going for a walk, and then we're going to leave and go back to our respective neighborhoods. Is that okay? They made it through unscathed, and no one's been sick since then, but I don't know.
You know what my favorite part about the whole past few weeks is? What was it? 8 days ago now. It was April 18th, where we had that snowstorm over the weekend. Not a snowstorm. We had like, I'm out in the Worcester area right now. We got like 4 or 5 inches of snow. So, but people are like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. It's like, we're in a pandemic and now we get snow. Oh, now life really sucks. It's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you complaining about snow at this time? It's like, the only time you should complain about snow, if you live in New England, is if, like, hey, it's a blizzard, There are 18 inches of snow out there and I got to get to work. All right, you have every right to complain about driving to work in those conditions, but oh my God, we got 3 inches of snow and now I have to go shovel. What else are you doing? Grab a shovel, go out there, shovel your driveway. It'll keep you busy for a few minutes. What else do any of us have going on? It's like,
chances
this is
are
the
you
perfect
don't
time
have to
for
shovel
snow.
your driveway and you don't have to
Right.
scrape your car
Just
anyway.
let it
Where are you
melt.
going? Just wait.
Let it
wait.
melt.
Yeah.
We need more snow at this point, but it's like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. No, it's literally the best time ever to have snow. So shut the hell up.
Yeah, why don't you actually do something productive while you're home? Have you ever heard the people like, oh, if I had time, I would lose weight, I would learn an instrument,
Yeah.
I would do this
Come on.
hobby. No, you're just lazy, and I am too. But I'm just telling you all, you're just lazy. You don't want to do these things. So yeah, absolutely, yeah, unbelievable. Just to complain about anything. Where are you going? You're not going anywhere. Let it snow. It's all good. Unbelievable.
See, Mason, I appreciate your accountability and your honesty. It's like, I could say that I'm going to get in shape, and this is, I'm paraphrasing or whatever, but
No, you are
I'm really
spot
just
on.
lazy at this
You are
point.
spot
Like,
on.
My attitude is like, yeah, no, like you know what, I'm kind of proud of myself, but I'm also like kind of dejected too that I'm not just like a true lazy son of a bitch. Like, I have been getting out for jogs every day because you know what, I'm not doing, a 4-hour commute, both all day into Boston right now. So I'm like, you know what? I've got some time to go out and do a jog. All right, that's good. I realized if I'm like, I'll never have an opportunity in my life to do this ever again. So I might as well do this now. But otherwise, yes, I would just embrace the laziness.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're doing something for yourself right now. Maybe save 3 months off your total lifespan, by
Dude,
jogging
like,
now, and maybe those 3 months will come in handy. I don't know, down the line, who knows?
3 months.
I'm taking this opportunity to just say I will have all the snacks. Like, listen, this is my time. What else am I going to do? I'm just going to have all the snacks all the time.
One thing for sure, I actually found myself, because I'm running a little low and I'm starting to be a little bit worried. And there's probably other people watching right now, or other people that are like, okay, what the hell do I do for toilet paper at this point? Because still completely gone off the shelves, nowhere to find it. So just for fun, I was like on Amazon, on eBay. They're all from China. They take 6 weeks to come, and it's just
in June.
Yeah. They're $50. Like, oh man, am I gonna have to use printer paper soon? Like, what is? I'm easing into like, all right, we got to figure out this toilet paper thing. That's
CVS receipts, Mason. That's your answer right there.
There you go. There you go.
Stockpile those
I
up.
kept them
I
all.
thought I was just going to say CVS. Like, I've seen the generic stuff at CVS, and I've actually seen them at Wegmans. They're starting to get the stock back in as well.
So actually, just a week and a half ago, real quick, sorry, but my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law had a birthday on the same day. Completely forgot. So like ran into
no, Mason, sister-in-law and mother-in-law. Oh, dude, I mean, throw your hands up and walk away from the table at that point.
But the thing is, my wife is awesome. She forgot too, so she's the best. She doesn't care. So we run into the dollar store. I get some cards, and I'm like, just for fun, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm like, let me go down where the toilet paper and the paper towels aisle is. There actually was toilet paper. So I'm like thinking like, this is the best. They each get a toilet roll each for their birthday. They think it's funny. And like, hey, you saved my life for an extra week, so like, we're the good guys. So that's what happened for it. So if you're thinking
you're doing God's work. Nice work.
If you happen to have maybe a little bit of a surplus of toilet paper, they make great birthday presents. Mother's Day is coming up. Give her a toilet roll.
Dude,
there you go.
I just got it figured out. Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There you go.
A bouquet of, instead of like roses or flowers, a bouquet
Right.
Straight up
paper
TP.
towels and toilet paper.
Exactly.
Oh my God. I mean, you want to talk about hitting the jackpot in 2020.
Best son ever.
By the way, like 2020 is drunk. Like I think I was in like a bleach, coma or whatever. I woke up like I was on a call with a couple of my friends yesterday, and I'm scrolling through Twitter, and I was like, wait a minute, is Kim Jong-un dead? Like,
yeah.
It's like, hold on, I'm sorry, what did I miss? Is Kim Jong-un dead? Like, this is fascinating. who the hell knows what's going to come from this? But I went down like a rabbit hole of like reading about North Korea today, and I mean, I was reminded of him like tying his uncle to that like anti-aircraft turret and like tearing him apart. Like that's pretty aggressive. Like this is
a little bit.
A little bit.
I went down a rabbit hole. I'm like reading on North Korea today as we await word to find out whether Kim Jong-un is dead or not. You want to kill some time in quarantine? Read about North Korea. Holy shit!
Yeah, like
you'll there, from what I hear,
you'll venture into the dark web and end out missing a kidney.
Yeah, if you think quarantine is bad here in America, try any day in North Korea.
Yeah, right.
Apparently, they're saying his sister would take over if Kim Jong-un is actually dead, and his sister is actually worse than Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, they're saying she might be like
very Game of Thrones-ish.
Yeah, they're saying like she might be even more ruthless. But like, because I was on a call with my friends, and I'm like, all right, like who would take over? Like he's got young kids, but obviously they're not going to take over. And he like whacked his uncle. He like blew him up with anti-aircraft stuff. And remember his like half brother who he had whacked in like that Malaysian airport or something, or something. You remember this? Like this is all over the news. Like this Kim Jong-un's half brother was like waiting for coffee or like waiting at like in line in an airport in Kuala Lumpur, and these two chicks came up to him, held something to his face like this, and he dropped dead.
I didn't know.
Read about it.
Well, I know what I'm doing after we hop off here. Deep North Korea dive.
I just love, Matt, how you're talking about a mafia boss. He was whacked over here in Far East Asia. I love it.
Oh yeah. No, it's let me tell you something. You want to read about stuff that's like you think this is bad. Go to North Korea. Not great. So we're probably about to be shut down right now because they don't like us talking about it.
I think that's a tremendous way to end and get shut down, to be honest. But
yeah.
North Korea, hit the off button right now. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they basically did shut down Hollywood, right? With that movie, right? That
Yeah, that's right.
They're not.
Do you know why China is no longer like the bad guy in any movies? Like 80s movies, Russia used to be, the enemy, and it was China for a while because China will refuse to distribute any movie where they are perceived negatively. So that's why Korea all of a sudden became the odd country of opposition.
That's genius.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's the South Park thing from earlier this year is like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It was the South Park episodes on China because it was so true.
Right.
I have to go tune in. Now I know what I'm going to go after Rick and Morty. I gotta
binge South Park
on South Park. Yeah, it's been too long.
You want to talk about a show that has gotten better in 20 years. Like you watch the first 6-7 seasons of South Park and you're like, yeah, this is like, it's good. All right. But man, the last like 12 or 13 seasons are just so good.
Short little stretch. Whoa, who's that?
Hook is yelling at us to get off, I believe. So guys, it was a pleasure. If you learned anything from me specifically, it's fire Bill Belichick. The rest of you guys were tremendous.
Yeah, sounds good. All right,
hot take to start things off. Awesome, Mason.
All right, check us out on Twitter at Mason Sousa 1, at Mike at O'Brien Obi on the mic, O'Brien on the mic. O'Brien on the mic, and I'm at Matt McCarthy 98.5. All right, Marshall, thanks a lot for setting this up.
Marshall.
Thanks to everybody who tuned in today. And yeah, watch out, don't get whacked by like that. It's not good. All right, it's been real, guys.
See you later.
Stay safe.